Hey YouTube, this is Lene. I'm back with another video. I just kind of wanted to discuss a couple of dreams that I've had. Actually, I had them this morning, June 5th. And excuse me if I'm looking down, but I wrote down my dreams so I wouldn't forget. I tried to, even though I still forgot majority of the dream, I was only able to remember a little bit of it. I still wanted to write it down so that way when I'm telling you guys it would be accurate. So the first dream that I had, it was where me and my family, we lived in a completely different location. It appeared to be in some sort of apartment building. I'm not sure who it was. I'm assuming that it was a military because of the uniforms that they had on. They knocked on our door and they asked for my husband's identification card. And at that moment, once they looked at his identification card, they removed me, my husband, and my son from our home. After we were removed from the home, I wasn't sure what happened with our son. I didn't see him anymore in the first dream. He was separated from us, and I just remember me and my husband, we kept praying for the safety of our son because we wasn't sure what happened with him. I remember one point of the dream, we looked up and we saw like the clouds and the gates of heaven, and it appeared as if they were opened. And then when I looked down, it was like fiery flames, which I'm assuming that was hell. I remember because we didn't know about our son, we didn't know if he was okay or not. Me and my husband in the dream, we wanted to commit suicide. We wanted to escape everything that we were going through, and it was a lot that was going on in the dream. And we were hoping that we would still be able to enter heaven if we, ended our lives. As you know, if you commit suicide, that's not something that you are supposed to do, and you won't enter heaven by committing suicide. So me and my husband in the dream, we thought about that, and as quickly as we thought about it, that moment passed because we just end up choosing the option to enduring until the end. In the dream, me and my husband, is like we ended up in what appeared as a refugee camp. There were a lot of people. It was just like a refugee camp. We were there, and we were going through it, and we still didn't know what was going on with our son, if he was okay or not. I woke up. I was scared. As a parent, you can't imagine losing your child and not knowing the condition of them, if they're okay or not. So I woke up from the dream, and I just kind of looked out in the hall for a few minutes, and I was still laying in bed at this time, and then I eventually ended up going back to sleep. When I went back to sleep, it was like a continuation from the first dream, which is odd because that hardly ever happens. But in the second dream, it was a little different, but the same end times refugee camp scenario. Second dream, in this dream, I remember seeing my son, and I went to my mom's house. In my mom's house, when I first got there and knocked at the door, her apartment was cleared out. Like, she didn't have any furniture in there at all, and the apartment just appeared to be empty that my mom was in, but she was watching my son for me, and it was really weird because it was like we were trying to run or escape from something or someone. I remember I kept asking my mom, "Did you want to go such and such place with me?" She was like, "No, no, come back tomorrow, come back tomorrow." And I'm like, "Mom, you know," I was like, "Mom, why do you want me to come back tomorrow? There might not be tomorrow." And she just was like, "Come back tomorrow." So I don't know. I don't know what the significance of that was. I don't really remember how that dream ended. But then I remember in the second dream, again, I started seeing a lot of people. And I don't know where my husband was at. I didn't see him in the second dream. I remember seeing some killing in the dream, deaths. And again, it appeared as if we were in some sort of camp. So when I saw a bunch of people, it again appeared like we were in some sort of camp. And like I said, I saw some killings and deaths. I do remember one part of the dream, which I don't know the significance of it, but I'm going to read Revelation because maybe that's going to put an answer to some of the symbolism that I've been having in my dreams, and so I can better understand them. But something in the dream was going to cause the earth to literally, when I say crack in the middle, crack in the middle. And it was like it was over. I don't know what it was that caused this crack, but I just remember seeing the ground cracking, and it literally, like the earth was just like cracking in the middle. One other thing I wanted to mention about the second video was that it appeared that we were overtaken or captured by ISIS. And just by the uniforms, the way the camp looked, and some of the people. So I don't know. One other thing I wanted to mention in both dreams, and I can't remember if this word kept occurring in both or in one of the dreams, was that I kept hearing the word persecution. Persecution, 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 persecution. It clearly states in the Bible that Christians will be persecuted. So, ladies and gentlemen, please get prepared for the coming of Jesus Christ. And just know that it's not going to be easy living a righteous life, and living for Jesus. It's going to be hard, but think of what the disciples went through in those times. They were persecuted. 11 out of 12 of them, well, okay. The only one that was not persecuted, let me just say this, the only one that wasn't persecuted was John, who wrote Revelation. He was sent to the island of Patmos for exile. But the rest of the disciples, they were persecuted. Of course, as you know, Judas, he betrayed Jesus, so he killed himself. He hung himself on a tree. But we're not talking about that right now. But what I'm saying is that, you know, there's even persecution that's going on in the Middle Eastern countries right now. People are dying because of the faith that they have in Jesus Christ. It happened in Jesus' time. It's happening now in other countries. And be prepared. Just because we live in America doesn't mean that it cannot happen to us. Please, people, open your eyes. Just open your eyes and please seek God, read the Bible, and pray. See you in the next video. Bye.